My name is Amy Halliday. I'm director of the Center for the Arts at Northeastern University, as well as a curator and writer. And I'm delighted to be here today with Helina Metaferia and Sarah Stefana Smith, who I was privileged to work with over the spring semester of 2020 in various capacities.
I'm a writer. I'm an academic, so much of my work is writing, but I'm also a maker. And so I see those two processes as kind of informing themselves. But because of a kind of heightened sense of crisis that is happening now, my natural reaction has also been to get really quiet with myself. And one of the ways that I do that is to kind of think about environment and quite literally to step into my garden and to really take good care of the spaces that I'm in and the people that I'm around. And for me, that's kind of been the way that I negotiate the how of how am I feeling in the midst of this time.
Both of you had spoke about care, and one thing I've heard before about institutional critique, which is how I would classify the work that I have in this show at Gallery 360, is that it must mean that you actually believe in institutions and the potential within them if you're going to care so much about them to make critique, right? To want them to see them get better, right? And I think about that with like socially engaged work or work that really calls upon humanity, is like we must believe so much in human potential. It's actually optimistic work.
The origin of the term curator comes from curare, or care, and what attentiveness is, or where it is paid, and increasingly how I think, at least in my own ethics of practice, that has shifted away from things to people. But that relationality is so key to also both of your practices.
I think that that's also something that I have to grapple with at times, where I sometimes, I hear of injustice and then I get pulled into, the pain and the suffering and the trauma and being re-traumatized by suffering, such as with the viral video work of Black lives being, killed brutally by police. It gets exhausting. And I have to think back, like, do I believe enough in humanity? Do I believe enough in my role as an artist to be able to contribute in this way?
I suspect I share some feelings that many Black folks are experiencing right now, and that's just rage, because it's like, we're here again. We're here again. Like, what else do you need to see? What other forms of violence do you need to see in order to be invested in kind of dismantling what we have? And I think a lot of what we are being asked to do as artists and cultural producers is reevaluate this idea of pace and productivity, and message that has the potential to disrupt kind of capitalist forms of making, where everything is about quantity and it's not about the worker. It's not about care. Certainly not about care. It's about how much you can produce, how visible you are, etc.